Hello friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, West Coast. No, this is Fresh Coast. Fresh Coast is a 7.5% Belgian IPA from Brewing Company in Marquette, Michigan. This is the first Belgian IPA I'm going to be checking out for the channel, and the style isn't really new. It's just since I was out of the IPA arms race for so long, I wasn't keeping up to date with all the variations on the style. I've obviously been trying to drink more and more IPAs, and Belgian IPAs are kind of just falling into that bucket. So I'm really excited to try this. I've been hearing great things about Ordoc. So what better time than right now to give them a try? So just real quick, I want to get this out of the way. The deal with Belgian IPAs are that they use traditional Belgian yeasts that give Belgian singles, doubles, and triples the really distinct flavor, but they generally use American hops that are typical with our IPAs. In the case of Ordoc's Fresh Coast, they're using French ale yeast and Falconer's Flight hops. And if you don't know what that means, they're basically a blend of Citra, Simcoe, and Soriachi Ace mixed with some other Pacific Northwest hops. So from that description alone, I'm expecting that this will have a clean, piney, bitter hoppiness. About 5 years ago, I'd probably say that 7.5% beer was really high ABV, but with all the high gravity stuff that's been coming out lately, it seems like it's almost an average ABV. And it's funny how just when you think you've seen it all, there's more and more creativity that can be pulled from these really traditional ingredients to put a new spin on the whole thing. So enough with the lesson. Let's just get down to business. Real quick on the label, this on the back here says that it's best served at 45 degrees Fahrenheit. I think this is one of the first beers that actually on the label it tells you like, hey, it's best drank at this temperature. It's got this cool kind of postcard look to it with made in Marquette. Greetings from Marquette, Michigan. It has kind of like the skyline of the coast, and then the sand and some other kind of features on here. Again, this is 70 IBU, so I'm expecting it to be a little bitter. And the glassware they suggest looks more like a Belgian glass. I'm going to use this glass because this is what I have on hand. The return of the handy-dandy bottle opener, which hasn't made much of an appearance lately. And just real quick, again, the label, the bottle cap here has the Ordoc kind of logo on it. It looks kind of like a freighter going through a dam of some sort, or maybe a lock. And let's open it up. Had a nice pop to it. I tried to get it close to 45. I stuck this in the freezer maybe about 10 minutes before I started this just to get it a little bit chillier. I don't usually keep my refrigerator at 45 degrees. It seems a little low to me. So right out of the bottle, it smells kind of sweet. Can't really put my finger on what that scent is though. Let's pour it and we'll see if we can get a better smell. A nice head already. Whoa. I think I poured that a little too quick. So I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised I didn't spill over. Got a really nice head, lots of really big bubbles here and lots of really tiny little almost indecipherable bubbles. It's a really good kind of picture here. Let's give it a scent. I'm getting a little bit of hoppiness from the smell. It like I said, out of the bottle it smelled sweet. It still has a little bit of a sweet smell to it. That's probably the kind of Belgian yeast. Got some bubbles right on my nose there. Gonna let this settle for a second. But it's got a really nice orangey color to it. It's really a pretty color. I mean, hey, it's beer. Any color for beer is pretty unless it's super clear, and then I'm just kind of like, that doesn't really look like beer. It looks like something else. It looks like the after product of beer, the byproduct. But yeah, it's got a nice orange color. Still got a really nice head on it. Kind of getting a little bit of a hoppiness to it. Like I said, it's got kind of some Pacific Coast hops, so I'm expecting it to have that kind of more of a traditional West Coast IPA taste to it, which is usually more kind of a piney, more of a bitter taste. It's got high IBU again, so I'm kind of expecting it to be bitter. Let's give it a taste. It's not really that bitter. Take that back. Okay, so one more taste. It's got a really pleasant sweetness up front. You get kind of that Belgian kind of taste. Belgians remind me of they kind of remind me a little bit of Hefeweizens, where there's a kind of more banana and clove. I think Belgians usually, to me, kind of have a little bit more of a banana kind of taste to it. This kind of has a little bit of that. It's got a sweetness, like a malty kind of sweetness to it. And then let's get a little, I'm going to take another drink to give you a better idea of what the back end's like. Kind of swirling it around in my mouth before the swallow, you get kind of that aroma that it builds, like a little bit more of a Belgian kind of sweetness aroma. It's got a bit of an underpronounced hoppiness, bitterness to it. This is really good. It's an IPA, but it's not so much of an IPA that, you know, like I said, I was just expecting kind of a West Coast, a West Coast IPA, really up in your face kind of bitterness, a pininess to it, but it doesn't have that. It's got a lot of characteristics of just like a Belgian beer. Like I said, it has that sweetness, a little bit of that, maybe like a banana kind of taste. A little bit of a spiciness to it, but it's not a lot of hoppiness, and it's really smooth. Like I said before, all these really high gravity beers being over 7%, and that seems like that's the average now. If you see a beer that's 5% or less, that seems like, I mean, you'd almost dare to say that's a light beer, but this doesn't taste like 7% to me. Like I said, I'm not a real, I feel like when I go to places, I seek out the things that are under 6% because I want to try more things. I usually don't. I've been doing flights more because that lets you try more of a variety of beers at a brewery. But I usually try and, if I'm going to have a full pint, I usually stick to the lower ones first. And maybe that's stupid. Maybe I should go the opposite way and then maybe build my way up to getting the higher ABV beers. But this one's 7.5%. Yeah, this one's 7.5%. And it doesn't really taste that way. I mean, you could drink a few of these, you'd get yourself into trouble probably pretty quickly if you're not eating or if you haven't eaten beforehand. But it's really smooth. It goes down really easy, and I'm really pleased with this, and I'm looking forward to trying more Ordok beer. Like I said, I've heard really great things about it, and if Fresh Coast is any indication, then I'm gonna try and get more. You know, they've just kind of been filtering down to my area, so it's a really good beer. And yeah, if you see Fresh Coast on the shelf, if you see this by Ordok, I would definitely recommend going out and trying to find this, especially if you're a fan of Belgians at all. And if you're a really big IPA fan, you're willing to go a little bit outside your comfort zone. Like I said, you're not going to get the super hoppiness out of this, but you're going to get a really good beer, and it's really smooth. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. That, my friends, is Fresh Coast by Ordok. If you're ever up in the UP, give Marquette a look. It's a really beautiful city, and check out Ordok Brewery too. If Fresh Coast is an indication of things to come, I'm really excited to try more of their beers. Anyways, are there any other Michigan Belgian IPAs that you know of or any on your radar? Let me know about them in the comments below, and while you're down there, why not like this video and subscribe to the channel? It's absolutely free. Not many things in life are free. This channel is free. You can also find links to my Instagram, my Facebook page, and a link to my blog at drafttherapy.com. Once again, all of it free for viewers just like you. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. And remember, drink craft beer support your local breweries, and don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching, and cheers.